Morning, good afternoon. Okay, now, do you want to know where all the action is? Verbs. Verbs are the words that represent actions that are external and internal. External, such as run, jump, work, and internal, such as love, think, consider. Without verbs, you can't do anything and you can't feel anything. You can't even be anything. As the heart of sentences and clauses, verbs show what the subject is doing or feeling, even if they are just existing. Okay? They tell us what the verb is, what the subject is doing or feeling. Verbs are also the only type of word that's absolutely necessary to make a sentence. Not even nouns needs to be in every sentence. Now, because verbs are so important, they have more rules than any other types of words. Like I said, this topic is quite detailed. Okay. Now, this can make verbs a little confusing in English, but read on for our explanation of everything. We'll learn about different types of verbs, different types of the different forms they take, how to conjugate them in every tense, and some expert tips on how to use them when you are speaking or writing. Okay. Now, what is a verb? Let's start with the basics. What is a verb? Verbs are words that describe action, whether physical or mental. Verbs also describe a state of being. Okay. Like be, become, or exist. Like somebody's state of being. Okay. An activity that somebody's doing or something that somebody's feeling. Salah ran across the field, kicked the ball, and scored a goal. Then I am the state. King Louis said this sentence. Okay. Some verbs, it is directly spoken by King Louis. Okay. Some verbs also act as helper verbs to change the tense of another verb. Likewise, these helper verbs can change a positive statement to a negative one with words like not. Okay. Helper verbs are also there. Okay. And some they change a positive statement to a negative statement. What are negative statements? Statements which have not. Okay. I do not like ice cream. Okay. I do not like ice cream. I like ice cream is a positive sentence. I do not like ice cream is a negative sentence. Okay. She has been jogging for a month and already feels her stamina increasing. Okay. Now, I don't feel so good. Spider-Man said this. Okay. And it is a negative sentence. Every sentence needs at least one verb. If there is no verb, it is an incomplete sentence or a sentence fragment. Except for imperative sentences or commands, a sentence also needs the subject, the thing which is doing the action. Okay? Okay, in the sentence, she has been jogging for a month and already feels her stamina increasing. Can you tell me what are the verbs?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. In the sentence, she has been jogging for a month and already feels her stamina increasing. In this sentence, can you tell me what is the verb?
Jogging,
Jogging. Okay, jogging. What else? Anything else?
increasing,
Increasing. Increasing.
is it
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Jogging is correct. Okay. Increasing also I think can be a verb.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Increasing.
Then,
Yes.
then feel.
Feels also. Okay, feel also. Now,
Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am,
but
ma'am.
yes, Hedrick,
Ma'am can don't be a verb. Do not. Do. Can do be a verb?
can do be a verb. It can be a helper verb, like not. Not is a helper verb. Okay. So maybe do can be a helper verb. Alright. Now, types of verbs. Let's take a look at what are the types of verbs. We have dynamic or action verbs. Most verbs describe a physical action or activity, something external that can be seen or heard. Okay, those words which can be seen or heard, external. Okay, and you can say that some action is taking place in uh, the words. When the words are such words where an action is taking place, they are known as dynamic verbs. Okay, for example, walk, love, swim, play, eat, drink, sing, dance, talk, and say. In every word, an activity is happening. Okay, so they are all dynamic verbs or action verbs. There are a lot of actions that take place in our minds and feelings which are not external. Some actions that happen in our mind and they are not external, okay? They are not shown outwards. Verbs that describe mental or internal actions are still dynamic verbs, but they are not always so obvious, okay? They include process verbs which describe actions of transition. Okay, means that these are not happening actually, but they're happening in our mind. Say we are thinking to take a walk. Okay, we are not actually walking, we are thinking to take a walk. That thought is also an action verb. Okay, now that the thought of walk is still a dynamic verb, but it is not obvious because I'm not walking. I'm only thinking about it. Okay, so you can say that it is a process verb. Okay, you can say that it is a process verb. Okay, now examples. Examples are consider, guess, change, grow, live, endure, succeed, and fail. These are the things which are not exactly happening, but they are like an idea. Okay, like an idea. Considering, guess, change, grow, live, endure, succeed, and fail. Then you have state of being verbs or stative verbs. The opposite of dynamic verbs of action is stative verbs of being. Stative verbs describe a subject state or feeling, including things they like and don't like. Okay, means that it will describe your state. Okay, what state you're in, what you're feeling. Okay, also includes if there's something you like or something that you don't like. For example, want, need, prefer, love, hate, like, dislike, seem, understand, know, believe, involve, and realize. Okay, these are all related to your state or your feelings. Okay, these are related to your state or your feelings. They are known as stative verbs. One of the most important parts of stative verbs is that you cannot use them in continuous tenses. Okay, they stick to simple tenses or occasionally use the perfect tense. Okay, we use their usage is only in the simple tense. Okay, or perfect tense. We do not use continuous tense. Okay, past continuous, present continuous. Okay, we do not use these words here. Okay, then the trouble is that some verbs can be dynamic or stative depending on the specific meaning and how they are used. Okay, some can be dynamic, some can be stative. Depends on their usage. Okay. This includes the most popular verb, be. Let's take a deeper look at these. A lot of verbs have more than one meaning. So they can be used as dynamic also or stative also. They include perception words such as see, hear, taste, smell, and feel. Okay? Because see, seeing, okay, hear, taste, smell, and feel. Okay? You can actually do it also. It comes as an action also. It comes as a thought also. Okay? Just think about it. Just think about it. Hear or taste, smell, feel, see comes as something you're doing and comes as something you're thinking. Okay, both the things. So it can be used as dynamic, something you're doing, or stative, something you're feeling. Okay, something you're thinking about. So dynamic or stative, these words, these are perception words. Okay, perception. You are doing something, you are also thinking about it, you're also feeling about it. Okay, these are perception. Understood what how verbs can be both dynamic or stative. Understood? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you can touch and feel something, and at the same time you can think of that something. Okay. So when you're thinking, if it is used in the context of thinking, you're thinking about something, then it would be stative. If you are like touching or sorry feeling something, then it can be dynamic because it's an activity you are doing. Okay, it's an activity you're doing. So it depends on the sentence if it is used as a dynamic verb or a stative verb. When perception verbs are used as an involuntary action, such as passive or unintentional actions, they are stative. This applies when these verbs are used in the general sense, a state of being that's always happening. Okay, means that they when they are used as involuntary action. Okay, what are involuntary? Some things that we do not do intentionally or things that we do not do voluntarily. Those are known as involuntary actions. Okay, so when perception verbs you use involuntary, they are stative. Okay, means that it's natural that we will see. Okay, involuntarily we will see things. Okay, it's not that we sometimes we can choose what to see or what not to see, but in general what we do, we see, right, all the time. Seeing or seeing things is an involuntary action most of the time.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes, Andrew.
so the five senses, so these are the senses, no, so the five senses can be like, can be both dynamic and stative.
Stative. Yes, Andrew. The five senses can be both dynamic or stative, but when they are done involuntarily, they are stative. Okay, when we are unintentionally seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, or feeling unintentionally, then all the time they are stative. Because see, when I am doing something voluntarily, okay, when I'm doing something voluntarily, that is an action. Okay, that comes under an action that you are doing. Okay, that comes under an action that you are doing. And when we have an action we are doing, what the verb is called? Action verbs. Okay, when it is an action you're intentionally doing using the five senses, it is action verb. But if you are doing an involuntarily, okay, unintentionally, you are using these five senses, that is dynamic. Sorry, they are stative. Dynamic or stative. Okay, they are stative. Now, this applies when these verbs are used in the general sense, a state of being that's always happening. A state of being, like we are always seeing, okay, we are always listening. It's not that we just close our ears and go out, right? Or we close our eyes and go out, that no, today I will not see anything. We have to see all the time, we have to hear all the time, right? Those are all involuntary actions, okay? They are stative. Now, I can't see without my glasses. Cakes still tastes great, even if it's not your birthday. Okay? That is the taste. Then, when those same verbs are used for a voluntary action, specific, deliberate, or temporary events. They are dynamic. Okay. I can't see without my glasses is in general. You cannot see without your glasses. Okay. But particular, I haven't been seeing well since I lost my glasses is voluntary. Okay. Because you lost your glasses, you cannot see. Okay. It's voluntary. Then cake still tastes great even if it's not your birthday. Okay, that is in general, but we were tasting cakes for the wedding all afternoon. Okay, cakes for the wedding. This is something you're doing voluntary, tasting voluntary. Okay, understood the difference.
Ma'am,
When you're doing it involuntary, your actions will be stative. Yes, Andrew.
the voluntary actions are the actions that are controlled by the brain, but involuntary actions maybe reflex actions or something.
Yes, Andrew. Okay, reflex actions or something, or maybe just something that you do not do intentionally. Okay, but just do. You're just doing it, but not very intentionally. Okay, those are um, involuntary actions. Likewise, some perception verbs have alternative meanings, especially if they are part of expressions or phrasal verbs. Often, this means that they act as a dynamic verbs. Some have alternate meanings. Okay, some have alternate meanings if they are part of expressions. Romeo and Juliet had been seeing each other for just 5 days when they died. Okay, seeing means meeting. Here, the word seeing, it's not the meaning that you Romeo went and saw Juliet and Juliet went and saw Romeo and then they went away. Seeing means meeting each other. Okay,
Ma'am,
they had been meeting each other. Yes,
ma'am,
Andrew.
ma'am, and meeting is a dynamic verb.
Yes, meeting is a dynamic verb. Okay, seeing is like it has alternate meanings in this sentence. Okay, the word seeing has alternate meanings, and this they also act as dynamic verbs here. Okay, other verbs like think, have, above, above all, be follow the same thing. Okay, there are no commas. I was about to read it as above all be. It's above all and be. They all follow the same rule. Okay, they have alternate meanings and they act as dynamic verbs. Other verbs like, okay, voluntary follow the same voluntary or involuntary rules as perception verbs. Depending on how they are used, they can be dynamic or stative. Okay, they can be both dynamic or stative. I think toads are better than frogs. Okay, it is an opinion. Okay, expressing an opinion or feeling, which is involuntary. All morning I was thinking about how toads are better than frogs. Okay, how toads are better than frogs. This is somebody who is actually thinking. Okay, like I think toads are better than frogs is just an expression. Okay, somebody expressing their views, which is involuntary, considered involuntary. But if you're actually doing something, like I've been thinking about how toads are better than frogs, that is voluntary thinking. Okay, you're voluntary thinking about it. Then look at the difference. So the above, I think toads are better than frogs is stative, and thinking about how toads is better than frogs is dynamic. Then I have a 10-year-old dog is stative. Okay, you are expressing your permanent ownership. It is voluntary. Sorry, involuntary. But if you are saying you are voluntary having a party for your dog's 11th birthday, okay, it is used as part of phrase and it is voluntary, dynamic in nature. He is nice to everyone. Is stative, expresses an ongoing state or personality trait, involuntary, and he was just being nice to everyone to get a promotion. He was being nice to get a promotion, voluntary,
Ma'am,
dynamic. Okay. Yes, Andrew.
ma'am, for the he is nice to everyone, the verb is is.
Yes, Cedric. The verb is. Okay. Now, auxiliary or helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs or helping verbs are used in English to change another verb's tense, voice, or mood. When auxiliary verbs are used, there is always a main verb that represents the main action. However, the auxiliary verb must still be conjugated correctly. The main auxiliary verbs are be, have, and do. Okay, they are helping verbs. Helping verbs. Okay, we explain how they are used specifically for conjugating below. Here are a few quick examples. I have eaten sushi many times before is a tense. That piece of sushi was eaten by me. Voice. Did you eat my sushi? Mood. Now, modal auxiliary verbs. So when you're using be, have, and do, okay, these are all like used as verbs. Okay, not as the main verb, but are used as a helping verb. Okay, are used as a helping verb in the sentence. Now, modal auxiliary verbs. Some auxiliary verbs are added to another verb to show necessity, possibility, or capability. Like other auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliary verbs are not the main verb, but they change its meaning slightly. Some common examples are can, may, could, should, would, must, ought, and might. I could swim across the English Channel, but should I do? Okay. I could swim across the English Channel, but should I do it? Are modal auxiliary verbs, okay? They are just changing the meaning a little bit. Okay, he's saying that he can swim, okay? He's capable to, okay? But he's also asking permission, okay? Then he's also asking permission, should I do it? Or asking opinion, okay? Should I do it? So these are all these words such as can, may, could, should, would, must, ought, and might are used in this way. Understood the usage? Look at one more example. She must be the strongest person on the team and might be the strongest person in the region. Okay. She is the strongest person on the team is definite. Okay. She must be the strongest person on the team is more of an idea. Okay. More of an somebody's idea. Okay. Somebody's opinion. And might be the strongest person in the region. Again, somebody's opinion. Okay. It's changing, like these words must and might is changing the meaning a little bit. Okay, when they are added with the verb, they are modal auxiliary verbs. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are phrases that act as individual verbs, often combining two or more words and changing their meaning. The verb get, for example, becomes many different phrasal verbs when combined with different prepositions. When the bus stops, passengers get out on the sidewalk. After losing his job, he's getting by on savings. Okay, they act as individual verbs. They combine two or more words and they change their meaning. Okay, for example, the word get, for example, becomes many different phrasal verbs when combined with different prepositions. So when you combine some verbs with different prepositions, they become different phrasal verbs. Okay. For example, when the bus stops, the passengers get out on the sidewalk. The important thing to remember about phrasal verbs is that they act as a single verb, so you can still use them with other verbs and prepositions. Okay, they still act as a single verb, so you can use them along with other verbs and prepositions. But when you conjugate a phrasal verb, you only conjugate the part of the phrase that's actually a verb, like get. Okay, understood.
Yes.
Understood. Can you
Yes.
give me another example of a phrasal verb?
Ma'am,
Yes, Cedric.
uh, ma'am, fall back.
Fall back, yes. Fall back. Good. Get out. Getting out. getting by, fall back.
And go by,
Go
go
by.
about.
Yes, Andrew, go by, go about. Okay. Look, they are combined two words. Okay. They are combined two words. So when we have phrases such as these, get out, go by, fall back, getting by, okay, they are all phrasal verbs. Okay. Now, verb categories. Aside from the different types, verbs also come in different categories. Dynamic, stative, and auxiliary verbs all make up the categories below. Transitive, intransitive, and ditransitive.
Ah,
Yes, Edric.
okay. So transitive verbs means they need a subject for it, but intransitive verbs don't need a subject. But
Yeah.
ditransitive, maybe they need two subjects.
Let's see what is ditransitive. Okay, transitive, they need no subject. Transitive, they need a subject. Intransitive, they do not need a subject. Let's see what are ditransitive words. Okay, now can anyone read this?
Me.
Yes, Edric.
Okay. Transitive, intransitive, and ditransitive refer to how a verb acts with direct and indirect objects. A direct object is a person or thing that the action happens to. An indirect object is a person or thing that receives the direct object.
Yes. So this we know. What is a direct object? Somebody that action happens to. Okay. And indirect object, somebody that receives the direct object. Okay. Somebody that receives the direct object. Lindor threw the ball to Degram. Okay. In this example, subject is Lindor and the verb is threw. The direct object is the ball because that is what was thrown. Lindor did the action to the ball. Okay, Lindor is the subject, the person who is doing something. Okay, and then direct object is the ball. Okay, and the indirect object is Degram because he received the direct object, which is the ball. Okay, he received the direct object, which is the ball. Lindor is the direct Lindor is the subject, ball is the direct object, and diagram is the indirect object. Okay, understood? Through is your verb. Through is your verb. It is an action. Through is an action. It is your verb. Verbs that don't use either a direct or indirect object are known as intransitive. Transitive, they use subject, okay, or they use direct or indirect objects. Intransitive, they do not use direct or indirect object. They are complete actions by themselves. For example, go, walk, run, talk, sit, sleep, and work. They are themselves activities. Okay, they are themselves action. Verbs that use a direct object but not an indirect object are called transitive. They don't always need a direct object, but they have the option. Examples: clean, like, love, dislike, hate, want, learn, deserve, and say. Verbs that use both direct and indirect objects are ditransitive. Okay, they are using both direct objects and indirect objects. Ditransitive. Transitive when they are only using direct object, not indirect. Intransitive, neither direct nor indirect.
They don't need.
Okay, they don't need it. They don't need it.
Yeah,
And
like go, like for go, like like I
it
am
is,
going, like I am going, I am walking, I am running, like that.
yes, Patrick, yes. It is an action in itself. Okay, going, running, walking, they are actions in itself. Okay, then Verbs that use both direct and indirect object, right? Ditransitive, they don't always need an indirect object, but they have the option like throw, make, buy, sell, read, give, lend, and bring. Just as a verb can be either dynamic or stative depending on the meaning, a verb can sometimes act as transitive, while at other times it can act as intransitive. Okay? A verb can be transitive also, it can be intransitive also. These are known as ambitransitives. Okay? Ambitransitives. For
Means
example, if you
that
ask
is
somebody,
both transitive and intransitive, ma'am.
uh, either like they can be either they will act as transitive or intransitive. Okay? Depending on the usage, they can act as transitive or intransitive. Those are known as ambitransitive. Like, for example, if you ask somebody if they are hungry, they will say, no, I already ate. Okay, I already ate. Ate is an action in itself, intransitive. But when you say, ask them if they are hungry, they might also say, no, I already ate a sandwich. Okay, I already ate a sandwich. What is a direct object in a transitive sentence? What is a direct object?
The sandwich.
The sandwich. Yes, direct object is a sandwich. So a response can be either transitive, can be, or intransitive. Okay, can be transitive or intransitive, both. Yes, Andrew, now say.
So, ma'am, mostly the people will just say, no, I already ate because it is, because they won't tell what they ate, just like me.
You do not tell what you eat?
No, no, I don't.
Okay.
Because I don't like to eat also.
Yeah, some people just tell, some people don't tell, some people are transitive, some let's say intransitive. Okay, we will stop here for today. And from active and passive voice, we will start tomorrow. Okay, please remember Friday is your quiz on adverbs.
Yes, ma'am.
Friday is your quiz on adverbs, so please prepare well for that.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes, Edric.
the thing is between easy and medium difficulty.
Yeah, I'll keep it between easy and medium difficulty. Tomorrow I will tell you what are the rounds. Okay, what will be the rounds and all. Tomorrow I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
Okay then, see you all